Good morning, traders. So we're still using the Bill-Williams theory and looking at the Aussie today. So the confusion continues. Even though we are moving to the downside, you can see pretty much every day as we get to a level, and the levels aren't that clear, except for this last one. The buyer stepped in and pushed the price back to the upside. So it's kind of a downward move in the morning and then a rally into the close. So there seems to be a level here that we stretched for. So this inside tail here, you can see we used it there as resistance, and I don't have anything to the left, but we did use it as resistance, and we have used it as support a couple of days here, rallied a bit, and came back to test it. So the fact that we have a high, higher high, low, lower low is continuation diversion. So if we just add another line there, pretty much a megaphone, and megaphone is a continuation pattern, and I suppose we should be doing this on a lower time frame, but it should all work out. So that now lines up perfectly with the 200-day EMA. Okay, so a break of this pattern as it stands now is going to give us a target of the 200 daily EMA. If we just come down to the 4 hour, and well, I suppose there's two ways of looking at it. There's a megaphone there, or alternatively, skip the first one and go to the second one. There we have a falling wedge. Same principle, it's a consolidation pattern. Only thing that concerns me is the fact that we have broken below the alligator. Okay, so we've broken through the alligator, and technically we could be testing that break. So in other words, another move to the downside. And then we'll have to wait and see what happens from there. But this level here of 47487 is clearly a critical level we need to pay attention to. Moving on to the hour, becomes a little bit clearer. You can see I could actually line this up there. That was just a bit of a fake out through the wedge, but this is a very clearly defined wedge. And then that would be, well, I'd actually take it from there anyway. Okay, so this gap that I spoke about yesterday closed. We picked up off the bottom, rallied, came back, and second move. So potential double bottom here. What I'm looking for now is a break above this area where we've closed on. So this was the previous, This was the previous level of support, and we've broken down. Now, remember yesterday I said to you potential head and shoulders here, and currently this is a retest of that head and shoulders. Okay, so what is the plan? The plan is pretty simple. I'm expecting this to break to the upside. Probably worth a little bit a chase to the upside. Okay, so it's probably worth going long, and the reason being 10 cent is up 2.8%, so we're definitely going to gap up. The US dollar rand is 13.70, so that came off quite a bit yesterday. And Nasdaq was up 0.6% yesterday, and Nasdaq futures is up 0.5% at the moment, so that's looking pretty positive as well. Okay, so I'm kind of starting to believe that this is a wedge rather than a head and shoulders, and I think the reality is quite simple. If we do break above this fractal level here, let's get that level 48056. So if we do get above 48060, just to be safe, that's going to validate. So you get an hour close above that. That's going to validate this this wedge. Obviously, you want to see a pullback. Okay, and then you want to see this level be tested, and that would be my entry to get in long. Okay, and that long would be a swing trade, a relatively long swing trade, up until the 200-day EMA, which would pretty much be a 700, 800 point trade. Okay, so that's the one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is if this level here where we are now of 47,837 holds, in other words, price gets back below this, then I would expect this head and shoulders to play out. But let's just double check it. This doesn't look like it was hit. Make sure. No. Okay, so that target hasn't really played out. But what has played out, I would assume, is the cup and handle. Okay, so here is shoulder, head, head, double head, and then shoulder. Or this is cup, handle. And that didn't really play out either. Okay, so none of those bullish patterns have played out. And I think for me at the moment, the wedge is more, is interesting me more right now. Okay, so just let me get back to the ichimoku before we close off. It's going to give us a little bit of extra information. So the 1 hour, we're testing the cloud. Okay, we are starting to group the upside, so it is possible that this continues to downside. It is very possible. This is really nothing. On the 4 hour, there's nothing to really look at here. Straight Kijinsen, straight Tekinson, very large cloud. And normally when you get a cloud that is this thick, the chance of price falling through this is not that high. It's going to offer a lot of resistance. So that's basically what it's reflecting to, is that if I look to the left, there's going to be a lot of resistance points, which is true. If we put a line on every single tail here, you'll see that there is a lot of different resistance areas, which is what that cloud is telling you. Okay, so trend is still up. Even though we've broken through Kijinsen, we're above the cloud, trend is still up. We've got a indecision bar plus confirmation, so my bias is really about a break of this wedge. Okay, and if we look at the daily, nothing really to write home about here except for the fact that we've got buyers stepping in at the close. Okay, we've had a twist. We're not through the cloud yet, and I'd still like to see a pullback. But what may happen now is we rally a bit sideways down, rally a bit sideways, and then hit the cloud. Okay, but at this stage we're above the cloud. We've had a twist, and we've got a twist there. We've had a crossover here. The only single signal that's lacking is Chiku span, this brown line, which needs to get through the cloud. So from an Ichimoku perspective, trend is up on the daily and on the 4 hour. The 12 minutes, we've had a pretty much very up and down day, and then we've broken through the cloud. Okay, so it is setting up for what looks like to be a long. I think this morning will be the proof of the pudding of that. Okay, so let's get back to the Bull Williams, and last thing I want to point out is if you played the closing range strategy, there it is there. That was a closing range there. And you would probably want to do this on a lower time frame, like 5 minutes or so. So you can see we started up there, came through this gap down, up again, and then this bar here was your signal that the trade was on. Now you could have also taken it below the break of this pin bar because it was technically a retest of the alligator break, and you had a fairly decent trade. And I think you would have probably picked up some Fibonacci levels here. So you would have picked up the range, the 161, the 261, and more likely the 361 would have also been a level. Okay, so it's a very nice trade that would have been. Anyway, what was it? A 200-point risk for 370, so 2-to-1 trade basically. Okay, anyway guys, that's my view on this for now. I suspect we have a wedge, a falling wedge, and we're looking for a target of, just want to pick up the target level of 48600. Okay, so obviously I want to see a break, retest the break, and then a rally. Okay guys, that's it for me on the Aussie today. Hopefully it works out, and keep those stops tight. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll catch up with you later. Cheers for now.